Yay, it's my birthday! Thank you everyone. This is like my 5th year of playing Blox Cards, I believe. Yes, it is. Okay. And a lot of you were trying to guess how old I was turning. You know, some of you guys said 37, some of you got 65. I think someone said N. Like happy N the birthday. Like, I'm not gonna give you guys a mega hunt token. Okay, no. I'm not that old, I swear. This is my 18th birthday, so don't DM me on Discord anymore. We got a lot of questions. I mean, literally I posted the link and then I went to bed and then I woke up and there were like 52 responses and I was like, oh my god. This is all completely unscripted, so we're just gonna roll with it. Hopefully I don't ramble on for too much. Now, the one question that was asked the most out of any one of them is, why do you play green? You know, why did you choose to pick green, home of green? Why? Why couldn't it have been like home of red, you know, where you showcased really cool sources Zafu strats? I'll tell you why. Okay, so I need a drink, hang on. It's tea. Back when I played Blox Cards in 2021, it was like when Pits of the Umberlords came out right before Solar Conquest, right? And you guys know, back then, that back then, the game was a lot slower, like way slower. As in like, the bodies were a lot bigger, AoE effects were plenty, like Tank Bomber had 2000 HP, I remember that, and Pico Man was 200 AoE to all non-rare fighters, despite him being a common, which is interesting. Obviously, in a time like that, you could play aggro, but, you know, stuff like Doges, definitely, Lycanthropes have and always will be, you know, that generic hyper aggro, annoying deck. But back then, everything was slow. I mean, Boba, for instance. Boba didn't even kill itself, and Boba was one-sided. So every time you played, you had to worry about, like, oh, Boba, oh, MZH, oh, is he running this board wipe, that board wipe? Because, you know, these kind of damage of control effects were so potent, and whatnot. And Overload didn't exist back then, so there weren't a lot of game finishers. So games kind of got stalled out for a long while as well. In a game state where big fighters constantly outvalued like small minimal fighters, well, a lot of people don't know this, but my very first deck that I made was Acolytes. Actually, I made Acolytes, and then I got hit with the Luck of the Lobsters so bad that I couldn't recover at all, and I insta-lost. Back then, Lobster was 4000 AoE damage. And from there, I was just looking around, spectating, and I saw this card that was so powerful, it literally forced the turn. Now, obviously, this was really cool, but wasn't very great because a lot of people would play it, misplay, be like, ah, crap, I lost my whole turn. But that card in question, the one card in question that made me start playing green was, and I'm not joking, Priestess Zanzel, the Promised One. It's true, because this card was just so insane to a new player like me. Like, what do you mean there's a top end that's so powerful that it forces the turn and bans your opponent? Like, that is so cool. And back then, when you were banned, you would get sent to this little island in the sky, and there'd be like a little demon playing Deep Woken, and then you'd have to talk to him to get sent back to the map. And I think that was really beautiful, because, you know, back then, a ban was really something to be worth, like, celebrating. I don't know when they got rid of that. Developers, please bring it back. But yeah, a slow meta, combined with the fact that green had some of the coolest top ends I've ever seen. I mean, this was before Martyr, Divine Equilibrium, before Poklolio, Megaflora. Hell, when Megaflora came out, that was like even more reason for me to play green ramp, because, and just green in general, because that was absolutely amazing. I remember as soon as it came out, like the very first thing I did was get a Megaflora as early as possible. And Demario beat me to it. He got it turn 3, but he got it against a bot. I got it out against a real player turn 4. I got turn 4 Megaflora against a real player, and that was really good stuff. So, why am I the home of green? I'm a little bit of an old head. I like big, powerful fighters, but there's a little bit more to it. Obviously, you know, you are probably asking, oh, as the game goes faster, why did you stick to green? You know, why didn't you go to yellow or something? Because yellow has consistently been number 1 or number 2. It's fast, it can keep up, it's got all the draw, it's got a bunch of shenanigans in Necro Syndicates, you know, you got Temple of Telemon in Pack Doctor. Why are you choosing to stick with this slow bum color? First of all, it's not a bum color, it's very mean. Second of all, there's a little something you should know about me. I love snowballers. What are some examples? I am Wiperware on Die of Death. Yeah, that's one example. Obviously, when I say I like snowballers, you're probably thinking, oh, they must like snowballing themselves. They must like starting small and then accruing a lot of ramp. You know, accruing all these green studs as fast as possible to drop their top ends. That's probably why they like green. There's more to it than that. I love snowballers and I love shutting down snowballers. Back when I played Forsaken, because I have a friend who developed Forsaken and they make us play. I used to love whenever they play Guess 666, and I just love to deny their blood hunts because it was so much fun. And that's one of the great things about Green, is that they have an answer for literally everything. They have unconditional destroy like multiple times. Like, where do I even begin? Alright, Script H, Corporations N, Alphabet Bestowment, Razwatix, Clinton. The list goes on, you know, not to mention all the... It has soft wipes galore, it's got typical type Cotton Gorillas, it's going to have Terralex, and it's got all these hard wipes too, Mass Epidemic, Crisis of Faith. It's going to get Draconic Council. And that's just, it's like a beauty in that, you know, like having an answer to everything your opponent throws at you. Oh, they throw a glass cannon at you, you have a chef. They throw a big fighter, you have like removal, you have interaction, you have transform, you have all these kinds of things. It's great. Your opponent is using burn, you have life gain. Your opponent is stalling, you have Apocrypha package. Your opponent is using bread, you have Apocrypha package. Apocrypha package is really busted. You are getting stalled by Destined Counter Titans, you have Apocryphalanex formation. Green will just have answers to everything your opponent has, and the question is, how lucky are you? And I don't know about you, but I'm really lucky. So yeah, that's why I started playing Green, that's why I still play Green, that's why I continue to balance and help Blox Cards with Green, and that's why I will always be the home of Green. When you feel like you're burnt out while playing Blox Cards, how do you usually deal with it? Thank you, Duelist. That is an amazing question. I actually wanted to make a video on this topic, but I thought it would be too serious and it wouldn't really fit. And my thumbnail artist doesn't know how to make anything serious because they are a clown. Okay, there are times you have to understand that Blox Cards is a luck game. This is every single TCG. There is an element of luck. You know, the starter hand mulligan system will be flawed. You will get bad hands, absolutely unwinnable situations, terrible matchups. You will lose sometimes to the most like stupid decks of all time. You will lose to like a 4-auth build around because they'll pull out a top hand out of their butt and win, and it'll feel bad. It'll feel really unfair sometimes. You know, some of these wins will feel terrible and you will feel like shit, I will tell you this. But if you keep forcing yourself to play, like if you keep forcing yourself, oh, one more win, I need one more win. This is not a healthy mindset. I had this mindset back then, and it really like, it threw me off the game, and it just made me like want to not play again. It was really rough. So, I tell you this, if you are having like a terrible burnout streak, you know, your favorite cards are getting nerfed, you don't know what to do, you just keep losing, you can't win, because despite what everyone thinks, you know, despite what everyone like does by showing off their win-lose ratio, like, oh, it's so high, do not be ashamed in your win-loss ratio, okay? The best way to get a high win-loss ratio is to not play the game, and that's just not cool. That's how numbers work. Thanks, Graph. By the way, he posted that. So if you're feeling burnt out, leave. Just leave the game. But make sure to come back when you're feeling in a better mood. You don't have to use the same deck, you can swap, spice it up, but I'm telling you right now, if you're feeling like you're about to get really mad at this game, just leave. It's not worth it to get mad over a card game. Let alone, any game in general, this is not worth it. Just leave. And then come back when you're in a better state of mind. Go play another game. I do that all the time. I go on a huge loss streak and then like, I'm feeling really terrible, I just leave. And then I come back later with my friends. And we laugh it off and it's great. Please, your mental health comes before your Blox Cards win-loss ratio. Thoughts on Terrarians, not just Green, and how long does it take to edit an average Blox Cards video? Okay. Mr. Maxinimo, I know you play Terrarians. Thoughts on Terrarians? Okay, this is not just green Terrarians. Okay, thanks for specifying. I have fought my fair share of Terrarians, and I will tell you this. I despise fighting against Terrarians, because it's either, did they high roll? And if they did I draw ego culling? That's basically it. And I don't like ego culling. I don't like ego culling at all. I just think it's a lame card. I will like run Mecha X over it, and now with Terralex coming out, I will 9 times out of 10 run Terralex more than ego culling. It's just a personal preference thing. But I hate fighting them. I love using them because I love the feeling of just high rolling into just unstoppable. Like your opponent can't win unless they like go crazy on the wipes. And Terrarians also have crazy card advantage engines. Like this isn't just for green Terrarians. The other ones have it too. So fun to play, not that fun to fight against unless you're a lucky duck. Now, as for how long it takes to edit an average BC video, I will post on the screen right now the project file of my last one, my deck review one. And I will now show you a screenshot from one of my animations. All of this stuff. Okay, if I were to not procrastinate and take breaks in between projects, because I'm telling you now, it is unhealthy to like sit there and actually edit everything in one sitting. It would like this stuff takes like weeks. Like I think I will spend like an entire weekend just like getting half of it done, and then I'll work on it like casually throughout the rest of the week. So to answer your question, maybe 3-4 days, like one afternoon to get the footage in, and then just like one afternoon of like just sorting everything out, and then like the rest of it is just like adding in all the spice and the pizzazz. Because a video is a creative project. It's somewhere where you can like express yourself, who you are, and you know, get support for it. So I want my videos to not only be informative, but I think the primary intention of it is for enjoyment, you know? It's for entertainment. People will watch my video and they'll be like, oh my god, that was so much fun. And the secondary is like teaching them all this stuff. That's why it took me so long to make the like guide to deck building, because I didn't know how to make it like fun and like not just one giant info dump. Maybe you guys like info dumps. I don't know, I think they're boring. Maybe that's just my weird little mind. What starts your creative juices going? For anything, really. Okay. For Blox Cards specifically, for Blox Cards decks, it is all based on one card. Let me give you an example. There's this card, Leave, Inspire Act 2. Search your deck for 9 gears. I will start from Leave, and then I go, where do I go from there? Where do I go from there? So I will go Staff of the Red Knight. I will go Dark Spellbook of the Forgotten. I will go Junior Permit. And then from there, I go like, oh, what else can I get? You know, oh, like Rainbow Hyperbike as well. And I'm bringing all this stuff, but it's an expensive card. So what do? I think of my start. I think, oh, I want to go Odds Makers. I want to go Odds Makers, or do I want to go Spyro? Here, I want Odds Makers, just because I think Odds Makers are busted. And then, now that I'm with Odds Makers, where do I go from there? So I will add Moonlight Camper, Committee Crony, Trey the Ripper, Off-Road Mecha Bike, Below Natural, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Where do I go from there? Like, now I'm thinking about it in terms of turns. Like, I want to cost this turn 1, what do I cost next turn 2? And then it'll go from there, so I'll go like, maybe Below Natural, turn 2, with something else, and then I will go either Beast Breaker, I want like Beast Breaker, I want like Red, Green, Blue Jewels as well, and then from that Jewels, what do I tutor? I tutor Absolute Authority, Monument of Hubris, Golden Egg Beatings, Brick Bacon, Transcendent Void Oak, Stairway to Heaven, and I just keep going from there until I have a deck. And at that point, it'll be way too many cards, right? So then I just start thinking like, what is unrealistic. Am I really going to be casting absolute confrontation, memorandum of an Evan car every single game? Probably not, so I get rid of it. Will I be casting Yu Liang and Ho Yi and Roblox Imagineer in every single game? Probably not, so I cut it. And then I actually play games, and then obviously I make adjustments from there. So that's like kind of my deck building process. As for videos, it's all dreams. Like every single one of my videos has come, all of my ideas have come like from a dream for all the videos, like all the lore ones. Maybe I'm a creative little dreamer. Would you ever try to make more videos related to BC Collab games? Okay, this is something I'm trying to move towards more in terms of Blox Cards content. Not just because the Dive Death video blew up. Thank you so much for that, by the way. That was amazing. I woke up. Like that one, I'm kind of mad that that one blew up because I spent so little effort on it. And I'm bad at asymmetrical as well. But yeah. This is something I'm moving more towards because I realize now that my channel is kind of like the number one main thing that people get when they search up Blox Cards. And so to have like an incomplete archive of everything Blox Cards offers is kind of meh. Like I've been slacking off. Was meant to do a World Tower Defense video. I was meant to do one on the Color and Electricity collab. And I just haven't done them because I've been so busy and whatnot. Yeah. Because I also know that a lot of people don't have Discord. Right? A lot of people don't have Discord. So it's good to have these things like up. So thank you for that question, Gene Virgil. And I like your alt arts because they have custom cost animations. What are your measurements? Pervert. Out of every Blox Cards deck you've made, which one is your favorite out of all of them? This one is an easy question. If I were to say recently, it would definitely be the Birds deck. That deck was one of the most fun decks I've ever played and fought. And that's why I was so happy to show it off, because that was like kind of my magnum opus for that like time period, because it's consistent. It's relatively easy to pilot. It takes something that was joked about for a while, because I know back then, like in 2022 and whatnot, before we had all this cool recur support, blah blah blah, a bird deck was kind of just like a running joke. You know, like, oh my god, a bird deck will beat ultras. And now the fact that like a bird deck is feasible and like competitively viable, like I got into like round 3 using just birds, and that's absolutely, like, I love it so much. And so that's why the bird deck is probably one of my favorites. If you haven't watched the video on that, please watch it. I love that deck so much. It does so much cool stuff. False Paradise video when? Okay, if you guys don't know, False Paradise is another card game made by Steve the Explorer Man, one of the former Blox Cards devs, and quite possibly the best Blox Cards player, Minimal Glaze. I had a video for it in the works, but it got absolutely just gone because of my finals, and I just never got around to doing it, so I apologize. I guess when the Blox Cards content dies down, which I don't know if it will because we're getting so many collabs, but if it does die down, I will cover it and dual build, because dual build was really cool, but that one as well, so it's a possibility in the future, yeah. Mono Red Son or Mono Blue Daughter? Mono Red Son in a heartbeat, because have you guys seen and talked to Ren? That man has a loving heart and he loves his mother. My Mono Red Son will know values. My Mono Red Son will respect women. My Mono Red Son will be a great and respectful person who also knows how to stand up for himself. What is your favorite Touhou project? And I will be counting the days until the ManixDash x ManixDash collab. Okay. So, I was always kind of like around involved in Touhou Project, because obviously I play a lot of rhythm games, and it's kind of impossible to play a single rhythm game without hearing one Touhou song. Like, if you've played one, you know this. You'll probably heard of one. Like, I don't know, Caro 9 Destiny, Night of Nights, Marissa Stole the Precious Thing, Cerno's Perfect Math Class, Bad Apple, the list goes on, right? But I never like formally got into it until like 4-ish years ago, because I had a friend who absolutely loved it. They like dragged me into this. And my first experience of Touhou Project was in an English class, like 4 years ago. We were bored out of our minds. It was about to end. The year was about to end, so we went on Moria Shrine and we each downloaded the game. I downloaded 7 because I didn't like 6. Like, I didn't like the characters of Embodiment of Scarlet Devil. I thought they were, like, boring. So I played 7 because I had no idea what I was getting myself into, and it just absolutely hooked me in. Oh my god. That, like, the first stage of every single Touhou game, actually, like, I'm gonna sound really corny, but I get, like, I cry a little bit whenever I do it, because it's so beautiful. Like, it really just brings the mood in that, like, one scene. It sets everything up. It really makes you feel like you are in that, like, rural Japanese setting, and it's absolutely beautiful. I think even in the newer games, Team Shanghai Alice Zun, they managed to, like, keep this vibe going, and it's so good. It melts my heart. It's amazing. So I got absolutely hooked in the perfect cherry blossom. You know, beat Yoko. After like a month, because I'm really bad at bullet hells, I got Terran Yakumo, and I don't think I ever even saw you. I saw Yukari, actually. Yes, I did. I saw Yukari, never even beat her. Played the rest of the games, got hooked. If you were to get my favorite, would probably be Touhou 7, Perfect Cherry Blossom, but Imperishable Night. The first 3 stages of Imperishable Night are probably the best stages ever made in any Touhou game ever. Like, oh my god, the stage themes are beautiful, and especially Kane's like stage where it goes like na 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 na. I'm like super tone deaf. I'll play the clip. That is just, it's so good. That like really sucked me in, and I will be. You can like see it in my thumbnails, my old thumbnails. I cosplay Touhou less, kind of because like I've done all the cosplays I already want to do. But like, love it so much. What's your favorite album? I don't have a favorite. I can't think of a favorite album, but I will give you a favorite artist. It is Lore. I have been a Lore fan since like 2019, 2020. I've been following their work since then, and I have consistently been top 0.1% listener on both YouTube Music and Apple Music for like the entire time, because I just love Lore's works. Maybe, okay, I showed it to my friend. I showed his discography to a friend, and they like looked at me and they were like, this sounds like normal person listening to rhythm game music. And I'm like, it's true, but I love it a lot because most of my music taste does come from rhythm games, because I've been playing them since I was really young. So I'll probably flash some songs I like on the screen now. Okay. How to use Doge, Toys, and World Tower Defense in one deck. Okay, Tim likes Funk 67. What? Samrock, Doge Starter, World Tower Defense, like Shell, you'd run Outlaw and Destructor and what's his name? Gosh, the 1 white, 4 green, 600, 300, you run that as well. Toys part is weird. I don't think you can put toys in there. You can put them in there for fun, but like, I don't know. What do you do outside of Roblox YouTube? Okay. The secret plotting on the downfall of North Dakota? Empath Sin, /. I would never cause the downfall of North Dakota. I don't even know where that is. Okay, so also you're probably really short. That's very mean, and also kind of true because I am from Southeast Asia. But you guys probably know this, but I am in law school. That's why there's kind of like a huge inconsistency between my uploads. There's like month-long gaps just because I'm so like busy with stuff. There might be one soon. I've got my test coming up. Hopefully not, right? And we're trying to fix that with like scheduled uploads and everything, but like, you know how things go like that. Other than like school related stuff, I'm doing a double degree, like law and media and communications. So, but other than like school related stuff, I love going to the arcade. You can ask like anyone I know that's close. I have blown so much money at the arcade, and I love to play the rhythm games. I have, you know, I have all the cards, I have all the registered stuff. I play, you know that guy who says like, oh, I've had every fruit. That's like who I aspire to be, because before I used to think the arcade was just like lame, and then a new one opened around me, and it had like all these like Japanese rhythm games. It had Taiko, Mai Mai, Trinitum, DDR, and I played them and I actually loved them. I was like, wait, this is awesome, this is cool. So I went there every day, played a bunch, and then I went overseas and they had Sound Vortex. That was cool. I played that. That was insane. I'm really embarrassed to admit this, but the person who got me into like playing physical rhythm games was Kaneko Kidden. Yes, okay, because he used to do Sound Vortex streams and I thought they were cool. He's also the reason why I got into Islands and Bed Wars and Robeats. Oh my god, half of my interests are because of a pedophile. I'm gonna cry. But yeah, I love that. Obviously, I like to do video editing, not for Blox Cards as well. I like to make stand edits of my favorite characters and post them online anonymously. If you see anything, but I use the same font as my videos. So if you see like an edit of like Current-chan online with like my video font, then it's probably mine. And don't blow my cover, okay? Worst Blox Cards era in terms of meta. For me, it was the Great Meat Boy top ends. Okay. This one is easy. Blexit. Like, pre-Blexit. Like, Blil, meta. Sorry, that probably means nothing. I need to stop using the big words. Blue Mill meta, where like Bizarre and like Igna like won every single tournament just by like stalling out and then using permission to move on, using like Black Symphony, comboing into death. That was one of the most toxic eras for me. I hated fighting that. That was absolutely miserable. I could counter it with the Apocrypha package, but it was still such a slog to fight. Like, I would see 2 Olafs turn 1 and I would just like forfeit. So yeah, that meant. Would you rather have a Destined Encounter son or a Neodragon daughter? Why are there so many of these guys? Okay. Neodragon daughter. No hate towards Destined Encounter and Stagnation, but Neodragons are pretty cool. If it was a Neodragon son, I think they'd be head over heels for Karaja. But I think a Neodragon daughter would be fun. More fun than a Destined Encounter son, that's for sure. How did you discover Blox Cards? Okay, losing sanity right now. It was online learning. COVID-19 just hit. I just started high school. I was bored out of my mind. I was still playing Character Chaos. You can see them. If you don't know what Character Chaos is, it is Raid Shadow Legends but on Roblox. But the game was dying. Because the creator neglected it. People were all moving to another version of it. I didn't want to migrate. So one of my friends was playing this game called Blox Cards, and I got absolutely hooked on it. I have no idea why I got hooked on it. No clue at all, but I loved it. I played Acolytes, I played Ninjas, I saw the Gladiators, I collected those, I made Gladiator decks. They were really bad, but so I joined the Discord server. Actually, I joined the Discord server in search for a person who is the so-called best Ninjas player ever. Their name was Zek33. I think they're not online as much as often, but yeah. And then I met them, and then I posted my Gladiator decks, and then like Fluffle told me, these decks are absolutely shit, run these cards. And then I started running them. They were great. I was kind of a dick back then because I was 13 years old, but I'd like to hope none of those messages resurface ever. That's not an invitation to go looking for them, but yeah. 5 years passed, now I'm here, I'm on the Balance team. I'm making cards, like Wonderland. So that's my Blox Card journey, I guess. What is your daily floss routine? Like the teeth? Like all of them, I hope. I never thought about it that much. Who is the best Uma? Okay. I will tell you my top 3 right now. I will let you guess the order. Karin-chan, Rice Shower, and Tamamo Cross. Because I relate to all 3 of them, like, very deeply. Like, Tamamo Cross and her witty, like, sense of humor. I relate to that a lot. I know, like, making, like, cracking jokes at every moment. And, like, being really short as well. I relate to that a lot. And Karin-chan, you know, her positives and her negatives, you know. The fact that she loves attention a bunch, you know, and she gets mad when she doesn't get any attention. I relate to that a lot, I think. Obviously the whole social media thing, just like all of Karin. I would just relate to her as a character a lot. And Rice Shower, of course, you know, Aura Demon. Oh my god, I sound like a LARPer. Ew, ew. I promise I'm not a LARPer. I'm rank S on Team Trials. But yeah, Season 2, I just loved their character. Absolutely beautiful. She was my first Uma I picked because she reminded me of one of my favorite Touhou characters, Shion Yorigami. That's actually what got me into Musume. Like, my friends were telling me to get it, and then I went on Twitter and I saw like a Touhou X Uma Musume like picture. It was Shion Yorigami as like a horse, and she like won first place. Now I thought the design was like so cool. I wanted to check out what it was. So downloaded Uma, picked Rice Shower because she had the best outfit. Realized she had like the worst career ever for newbies. Like, you get stamina checked at the Tenno show. You need 600 or you die against McQueen. And I didn't know that. Hello? I didn't know what any of the stats were. I made like a happy meek on my first attempt and I got like, absolutely pounded. But yeah. She's been my day one. She's been with me my entire Uma career. I have a figurine of her. It's amazing. A plushie of her is also coming. My friend got me this keychain of her and it's so beautiful. I have cosplays of all three of them because they're great. And yeah, those are the best Umas. I will let you decide what order they're in. Who is your favorite Project Sekai character? Why are all of these... Okay. What gave away the fact that I was a Project Sekai fan? Was it the names of my decks? Was it the name of my decks? Was it the Project Sekai music? Like, was it the Project Sekai music in the in my shorts? Was it the thumbnails? Was it the avatars? What gave it away? What gave it away? But my favorites are Momo Airi and Saki Tenma. I've got plushies of both of them. I'll show them on the screen right now. I love them so much. They're great. You might be noticing a trend in my favorites. I will tell you right now, ignore that trend. And if you haven't figured it out, don't worry about it. Will you ever return to making lore videos, like videos of stories? Yes. Okay, so probably know I used to make a lot of videos of story. Why? Because I didn't like my voice at the time. I thought I sounded like I thought I sounded weird, right? And also I was scared of people using my voice to make AI like voice banks with it. Like they did that with Blue TNT, that was like creepy, and they like kind of put me off putting my voice in videos, right? So I made those lore videos and I put a lot of effort into them, but like I put like a lot of effort into them, they weren't getting that many views. And then I switched to mic content, and then I got more views in the lore, and then they got more views in the animations, and that kind of put me off. But the thing is, I absolutely loved doing these animations, because like the stories here, we just like come, I'd like be doing the dishes, and I'd be like, oh my god, it'd be so funny if I went to the park and I saw a bird, and I was like, let's make a bird army. You know, like, I love doing them, they're so fun, and I do want to return back to them, but with voice, because that means I got an upgrade. And I actually had a red green trees spam. Is that the name of it? Red green trees? I don't know. But I had a video of red green trees. I never finished it because I didn't get a win with it. This was before all the before Crypt Crew and stuff. I'll show it right now. I'll show it right now. This is what I had. Are Ragebornes unbalanced? You're not going to expect this answer. Yes, but they are both overpowered and underpowered. Let me explain. A majority of Rageborne's power lies in like only a few cards. So I think Yellow Rageborne is probably the most well-rounded of the bunch, but it's like Tourist is so ass, man. Like for green, their power comes from like Forest and Vines. Like those two cards are absolutely busted, and the rest are like whatever. Like greenery is so buns. Why would you ever run greenery? Same for red. Like Bike, absolutely crazy. Adretti, like Isaac, insane. But then you've got like Car, and no one's running Car. No one's running Car. It's so off-putting to me because I feel like the whole thing just needs like a whole like rework, not like a rebalance, because they get too much free value out of stuff like Deep Space Loan Shark and Rageborne Vines. Like, it's just too much value. Like infinite rage procs should not be like possible. But at the same time, the best rage deck is like tricolor. You try to make a mono red like rage deck, and it's gonna be half the time it's gonna keel over and die. Like any mono rage deck will like, surprisingly, any mono rage deck will keel over and die compared to tries, because the main core powerful Rageborne cards are not the mono top ends. They are the tri-color ones. They are the cheap stuff you can put in tri. Rageborne Forest, Rageborne Patron, Rageborne Vine, Rageborne Forest. So the tri, just like spammy tri, hyper draw deck will always be better than any mono deck. So yes, they are unbalanced. Winter Wonderland says, hi, how's your day? Thank you for asking, my day was wonderful. Who is your favorite Pace Chaser Wit SSR? My favorite Wit SSR that I put on a Pace Chaser would be Karin-chan Wit SSR. Yes, I love putting her on my Buckshin. Happy 50th birthday, Unk. Anyways, I want to know what is the best deck a fan has made and why. I get sent a lot of DMs, right? And about like, oh, here's my deck. What do you think about it? Don't you think it's cool? How would I improve it? And a majority of them are rainbow related. So that's Rainbow Blessings, Rainbow Gladiators. Maybe that's because I made a Rainbow Gladiators video, and that's like one of my most viewed ones, and I'm very proud of that deck actually. I have an updated version of it with like actually like good tech. But the story of why Rainbow Gladiators goes back to like 2022. Before we had decks here, I would search in the deck shared like channel from contributors and like high level players to see their decks and see like what are they doing, what's in their minds. And before Iris came out, the combo you would run was Quan Yuki, because Quan didn't have haste and you'd use Yuki to unlock Quan. That is like your Rainbow Gladiators like package. And then Iris came out, and people, it was before Iris actually, so before Iris, it will be Quan Yuki. And I saw this deck from Flatflyer that was Quan Bloatware, and I was so confused why he did Bloatware. So I looked, because you know, Fluffle himself asked why Bloatware lol, and Flat said, it's an excuse for me to run Catch St. Yilberry. And that kind of like stuck with me, because I'm like, this idea definitely has wheels. So when Iris came out, I made an Iris Bloatware deck, and that kind of like blew up. That was my like, I don't want to call it my magnum opus, but like back then that was my magnum opus. Like, I got into the balancing team and they were talking about, oh, you're the guy who made that Rainbow Gladiators deck. So yeah, a lot of the decks, oh, I'm rambling. A lot of the decks fans send me are Rainbow related, but I do get the occasional odd pearl. That isn't to say that the Rainbow decks I get aren't gems. I've been sent some really good Rainbow Blessings decks. But I just use Lids, because Lidusha is really good at making those kind of things. The best one a fan has ever sent me has got to be a bird deck. Not because it was good. In fact, this deck was, I'm not gonna name who it was. It was anonymously sent in DMs. But if you know who you are, I'm so sorry, but do not speak. This was one of the worst decks I had ever seen. Like, all the starter picks were off. I think it was on like Blotnik for some reason. Why are you on Blotnik? That was one of the worst green starters ever. Like, the whole thing was like terrible. And I looked at it and I was like, this could be so much more. So I spent some time working on it. I was in a voice call with like Frizzos. He was playing Overwatch. He was like streaming his Lucio gameplay. By the way, he's absolutely shit at Lucio. He's terrible at Overwatch. But he was streaming it or something, I think, and then I was making the deck, and I made it, asked him to hop on for it, and it was great. And I really like sparkled something in me again. I was like, so this is the joy of making a deck. And so whoever made that bird deck, thank you so much for showing that to me. And you know, inspiring one of, if not my favorite deck I've ever made ever. And please stop using Blotnik. That card is so bad. Okay, final question. Monocolourless video when